Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh, may the Divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace.
This song is a holy song. This is the month of Holi. The song is describing the scene of Holi, an ancient tradition during spring, also known as Festival of Color. Sri Krishna is merrymaking with wonderful colors in his town of Braja with his companion Radha and friends Gopi and goats. All Braja people are ecstatic with joy in this blissful play.
I'm reading from the book Sri Ramakrishna and His Divine Play by Swami Shardananda, translated by Swami Chaitanya. The chapter is Master's Practice of Madhura Bhava. As ordinary human beings, we are always conscious of our bodies, so we understand love to mean the attraction of one body for another. Or, if with strenuous effort we raise our consciousness a little from the gross physical plane and consider love as the attraction for the combination of noble qualities residing in a body, we call it transcendental love, and we eulogize it. But we can quickly understand that our so-called transcendental love, which is praised by poets, is not free from the gross body idea or subtle sensual desires. Oh, how worthless, trivial and hollow that love appears in contrast with the true transcendental love manifested in the Master's life. According to the devotional scriptures, Radha, the goddess of Vrindavan, alone experienced the culmination of true transcendental love and left its perfect ideal to this world. She shunned shame, hatred, fear, public opinion, and social criticism. She forgot pride of caste, family ties, appropriate conduct, personal dignity, and her own comfort and enjoyment in order to take joy in Krishna's happiness alone. There is not another example like hers in any of the devotional scriptures. So the Vaishnava scriptures say that without Radha's grace, it is impossible for anyone in this world to have the vision of Krishna. The Satchidananda Krishna is eternally and completely captivated by the love of Radha, and he fulfills the wishes of devotees at her intercession. The intention of the Vaishnava scriptures is to teach that until one attains the same kind of pure, lust-free love that Radha had, one cannot achieve God as husband and experience the full sweetness of Madhura Bhava. Although the ever-free Paramahamsa, Shukadeva, and the other illumined sages eulogized the divine glory of Radha's love, for a long time the ordinary people of India did not understand how to experience it in their own lives. The Vaishnava teachers of Bengal say that in order to demonstrate this phenomenon, God had to reincarnate and unite himself with Radha in one body. That unique form of God was manifested internally as Krishna and externally as Gauranga, Chaitanya. It was Gauranga who established in this life Radha's eternal love of Madhura Bhava. The same signs that manifested in Radha's body and mind as a result of her love for Krishna were all revealed in Gauranga due to his exuberant love for God, despite having a male body. Observing this, his followers recognized him as Radha. Thus, Gauranga is the second example of that ideal transcendental love. Knowing that the vision of Krishna is not possible without Radha's grace, Sri Ramakrishna began to worship her with his one-pointed mind. He remained absorbed in meditation on her loving form and prayed to her unceasingly with a longing heart. As a result, he was soon blessed with the vision of Radha. Her form merged into him like the forms of other gods and goddesses whose visions he had previously realized. He said, "It is impossible to describe the incomparable love, purity, heavenly beauty and sweetness of Radha, who renounced everything out of her passionate love for Krishna. Her complexion was light yellow, like the stamens of the Nagakeshara, Mesua fera flower." For some time following that vision, the master felt that he was Radha. This happened as a result of deep meditation on Radha's form and character. He also completely lost his sense of individuality. So it is evident that his love for God as husband became as profound as Radha's. After that vision, all signs of Mahabhava that resulted from the culmination of the Madhura Bhava manifested in him, as they had in Radha and Gauranga. The descriptions of the physical signs that manifest themselves during Mahabhava are recorded in the books of the Vaishnava teachers. The Bhairavi Brahmani and later Vaishnav Charan and other religious leaders who were well versed in the Vaishnava scriptures were astonished at seeing those signs of Mahabhava in the Master's body, and they offered him their love and respect. Referring to Mahabhava, the Master told us many times, the devotional scriptures say that when 19 kinds of bhava, emotion or mood, for God manifest together in one person, it is called Mahabhava. An ordinary man takes a whole lifetime to practice even one bhava before he achieved perfection in it. All 19 spiritual emotions are fully manifested here, pointing to his own body. Here is it.
Now a short period of meditation. Good morning, friends. Today we're talking about Sri Chaitanya. A beautiful reading, very appropriate, and how Sri Ramakrishna's connection with Sri Chaitanya. And the song very just fits to the occasion. And this Chaitanya Dev's birthday is on this year is on 5th of March. And it falls on Holi, that festival of colors, which is called Holi, H-O-L-I. And of course it is a very holy day, H-O-L-Y. So to remember that, we are talking about Sri Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya, when he was born, it is a day of celebration. People were very joyful. They were joyful, people didn't know that a great soul is being incarnated, there is the advent of great soul, but the place was full of joy because of the festival of Holi that day. And in the evening, people had gone to take bath in the Ganges, just after sunset, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in a small town of Navadvip in Nadia district of West Bengal. It was 18th February, the very day on which Sri Ramakrishna was born, exactly 450 years later. 18th February 1486. Small boy was born, a very charming beauty, fair complexion, wonderful, very seeing the boy, this divine incarnation, when they come with so much of love and attraction. It's every baby is a representation of God, no doubt. Every baby, even the baby of animals, every baby seems so beautiful because divinity is much manifesting in that. It's not polluted by the lateral stages. Human baby, everyone is just close to God. And when God Himself comes as the baby, it is the full manifestation. So that attraction was there in the person whose name was Vishwambar. His name, given official name of the child, was given Vishwambar. Now, he was very fair complexion, very unlike of others, bright body, wonderful, beautiful face. So people started calling him Gauranga, whose body is fair, Gauranga. From that it became Gaur. So like that it became the name Gaur. What is his name? Gauranga, what is another name? What happened, his father, Jagannath Mishra, and his mother, Sachi Devi, they had moved from Sylhet in East Bengal. His parents were originally in East Bengal. In fact, they say Gauranga was conceived in Sylhet in East Bengal. He was born in Navadvip. So, at the child death that time. So there were total 10 children of Sachi Devi from Jagannath Mishra. Of them, 8 were girls, and one of them died in the childhood. So much was the child mortality rate at that time. His elder brother, Gauranga's elder brother, the baby of Sachi, he grew up sometime, and after some time he was so fantastic, he had mind he just after growing and becoming of age, he left home and hearth and became a monk and went to South India and joined a monastery there. A great shock to his parents. Now this Vishwambar was born, and he has to be protected from the child death. And also they were afraid he should remain in home because he was the only one with the parents. So mother thought, dying is supposed to be as if God likes them. So God takes them away, or someone takes them away. To say that it is worthless, that is somehow to protect the child from death, is calling the child worthless. So in that way they call sometimes ek kodi, like it's a worth of one like mollusk shell. That's why they sometimes give ek kodi, that type of name. It's not worth. So, oh God of death, don't take this away. What Sachi Devi did for Gauranga or Vishwambar was, he said, he is bitter. That type of name. That's why she gave the name Nimai. The colloquial name compared to neem, the margosa taste. So he is bitter. Oh, death, God of death, please don't touch. Let him leave. Like that. So his name given by mother was Nimai. Vishwambar, Gauranga and Nimai. These all three were there. Vishwambar, the official name, was gradually it was lost. Gauranga and Nimai remained. Now this prodigy, very brilliant boy, growing naughty. As Swami Vivekananda was so naughty and difficult to control, Gauranga was like that. When he grew up, we were difficult to control. Now that time, Swami Vivekananda, when he was got hold by his mother and then put water on his head saying Shiva, Shiva, he used to become quiet. And Gauranga had the similar case when he was caught and he said Sri Krishna, he became quiet. There was the natural love for Krishna with that he was born. As he was read, Krishna saw Radha's love in his incarnation as Krishna. Tremendous, unseen love, unthought of love, total, complete surrender, negation of the self, no ego, all filled with Krishna. That was Radha. And she was just swimming in the love of Krishna, extreme love. Krishna saw she is in such a bliss. God, so what will be the experience of this love? Unspeakable, indescribable love of Radha for Krishna. Sri Krishna thought, I should also, if I could have that sort of love and I could enjoy this love of God, this extreme, supreme love of God, that type of thought came to Krishna, seeing Radha's love to him. To enjoy that love, Krishna was born as Gauranga. That's another philosophy. Just to experience love of Radha by himself to God, Krishna, the God himself, was born as a devotee, as Sri Gauranga. So, lover becomes more important than God. God seeks to be a devotee, a true devotee. It's a wonderful concept of the greatness of bhakti, devotion, greater than God himself. That's why they say, when devotee and relation between devotee and God is, first the devotee prays to God, Lord protect me, and he runs where God is there, he runs to be with God. Later on, when the stature of devotion grows, then God starts running after the devotees. Where is my devotee? That sort of thing, attraction just reverses when devotee becomes stronger. So Gauranga had that tendency of love of God, love of Krishna, and Gauranga was Krishna and Radha in one body. The Krishna born to experience the joy of love of Radha, bliss of divine love. That was this Gauranga. Gauranga was a brilliant student and he mastered all the subjects that were taught in Sanskrit, like logic, literature, grammar, everything what was prevalent at that time, it was taught. And this Navadvip was the center of learning that time. People from all over the eastern India, they came to Navadvip to learn. Especially it was famous for logic, Nyaya, one of the philosophies, Nyaya. And there they developed a new type of Nyaya and they called it Navya Nyaya. It was the center. It was the research and new thing came there. And this Nimai became so prolific in that subject. So he was to argue and people were defeated by his philosophy. He became very prominent. He went to East Bengal and defeated all others. He became very prominent. And at a very young age, he became a professor and established his school. When he was just 16, he made a school tour of his own. He had a friend by the name Raghunath. This Raghunath was also a very good student of Sarvabhauma, is their teacher. And he was also brilliant. And one day, these two friends were going on Ganga. Navadvip is by the Ganga, you see. And they were on the boat and they were talking about, he wanted to write a book on Nyaya, the Raghunath. And he had already almost written, almost completed. And the name of that book is Didhiti, still there in this book, Didhiti. So they were talking, and Gauranga started saying, I plan to write. He had not spoken, Raghunath had not spoken to Gauranga that he is writing a book. So Gauranga said, I'm planning to write a book on Nyaya, on logic. So, and he said, would you like to listen how I want to explain? So he started explaining something. Gauranga started explaining something. And when he was speaking about his own idea, about the explanation of Nyaya, his friend Raghunath started crying, tears started flowing. Then Gauranga asked, what happened? Why are you sad? He said, oh Gauranga, didn't you like my explanation? Is it something flawed? It becomes so sad. Not liking my dear Gauranga, my friend. I am sad because I was also writing a book and I have almost completed the book. But the way you have expounded Nyaya is far, far superior and better than what I am writing. When your book comes, along with my book, nobody is going to look at my book. It's all my labor of so many months or years is just going to be in vain. Just that makes me very sad. Yours is fantastic, incomparably beautiful, much more greater and wonderful than mine. Gauranga said, oh, that makes you sad. So my writing is superior to you and that is making you sad. So don't worry. He took his manuscript and then and there put it on the Ganga. Just a drop in the river. That was his sacrifice. You see, such a great learned person, such a wonderful name, fame, but there was no limit of the sacrifice of this Gauranga. What happened? His father died when he was very young. And he got married also after his father's death, and his first wife died by snake bite. And then he married second wife, which is more famous as Vishnu Priya. So Gauranga and Vishnu Priya, they are the names. When he was 22, Gauranga, very famous, he became the leader of the scholars in Navadvip, people coming from all over the world and all over this known area. And his arguments, nobody could defeat him and all that. At 22, he thought of going to Gaya for pilgrimage, for offering Pinda, the rites for his ancestors. He went there and there was a tremendous transformation. He went to the temple of the feet of Vishnu. In Gaya, there is no statue of Vishnu. There is just the footprint. It is called footprint of Vishnu. Vishnu Pada Padma Mandir. Vishnu Pada Mandir. So he saw that, and what revelation he had there. The love for Krishna entered into him, and he was dumbfounded. He started shedding tears, and he just became like a dumb, just crying tears, and went into samadhi. He was going to fall down on the ground. And that time in the temple had come one sannyasi. His name was Ishwarapuri. He saw this boy, this man was falling with emotion, divine emotion, and then he got hold of him and saved him. And when he got the consciousness, Gauranga said, you are my Guru, please initiate me into the mantra of Krishna. I can't live without Krishna. Teach me and grant me the love of Radha that's in me, so I can love Krishna like Radha did. Krishna is my life, Krishna is my health, Krishna is my everything. That very moment it happened. This revelation sometimes happens. You know in the story of Ramana Maharshi, how he was going somewhere, suddenly he felt he is dead. And he experiences his dead body lying there. And he can see and feel his dead body, and he himself separate from the dead body. This revelation which we try to have through studying Viveka Chudamani, through discriminating through Radha Yoga, that we are Purusha and everything else is Prakriti, like that. He was a high school student at that time. He's a young person. And that great revelation of the real self, it's immortal, undying, everything that dies is the real self. What happened to Saint Francis? He was a young boy having frolic and fun everywhere and all that. No religious attitude was seen. Gauranga was much religious in that way, but he was a scholar, no doubt. But he went to a church of St. Francis near Assisi, and suddenly he saw Jesus. And Jesus saying to him, "You have to build my church. My church is falling." Whole life changed from that moment. Great moments, great place, and life changes. Gauranga's life totally changed. The scholar who had come to Navadvip to Gaya returns back a great devotee of Krishna. All scholarship gone, school closed, the students go away, and now in place of logic and nyaya comes Sri Krishna. Slowly devotees started gathering, the whole life transformed, the power came to him, and very spiritual power, whomever he touches, he becomes devotee of Krishna. He started singing the name of Krishna. And Nityananda came. Nityananda was another guy. He was also a great devotee of Krishna. At 12, he had given up his home and had gone to Vrindavan and had meditated on Krishna and had gone for the love of Krishna. Somehow he had come to Navadvip, met Gauranga, and they became friends. And they became like brothers. These two were together, always. And he started preaching the name of God, Sri Krishna. Hari Bol, that was the mantra. And Krishna's name, that was the mantra. Singing loud, that was the thing they started doing. Not only the joy of divine love in themselves, they wanted to spread the joy of divine love to everyone, irrespective of caste and creed. Gauranga was one very revolutionary in that way. He tried to spread the name of God to all human beings. That time devotion and all those were only for Brahmins, as of higher serfs, was only for higher caste. Gauranga broke that away. Everyone had the right for the joy of bliss of divinity. So he started preaching that. Whole village, whole town started following Gauranga. Krishna Jadavaya Nama, that mantra was being said, and that he started doing that. Hari Hare Nama, Krishna Jadavaya Nama, Jadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Nama. He heard cymbals and drums have been played, and Kirtan started going through the streets of Navadvip. Now some problems. People were very happy, but in that Navadvip there was one police officer, Kotwal. They didn't like this Vaishnavism. They were followers of Shakti cult, and their life was wretched. They were not really holy persons or really followers of God. Used to drink, and they were born in the higher caste, Brahmin, but they were very fallen type, and they had very bad life they started, and they were the officers. So they didn't like so much power, people following Gauranga and the name of Krishna being preached, because it was not his way of loving God. So one day they thought, now let us try to motivate and give him some real spirituality. This Gauranga and Nityananda thought, with a procession they went to that police officer, Jagai and Madhai. That was the name, Jagai and Madhai. And then when they saw, this were inebriated, these two persons, they saw Krishna's name being sung and they come here, they say stop, they didn't stop. Then he brought one earthen jar and hit to Nitai. The Gauranga was at the back of this kirtan, this team. And Nitai started bleeding, there was a big wound on his head. Still he was singing, "Oh brother, please sing the name of Krishna, say Krishna once." And it was happening that way. Whoever took the name of Krishna with Gauranga, he started becoming follower of Krishna. That love for Krishna started saying just by saying one. Nitai says, no, doesn't matter you have made me wound, just say the name of Krishna once, oh Jagai, oh Madhai. Madhai was inebriated. He had thought of killing him and started throwing the earthen piece of the earthen jar again. Then his elder brother Jagai caught hold of Madhai. Goodness in everyone, you see. And he said, why are you killing this monk-like person, taking the name of God? Don't do that. And somehow he felt, after this kindness came, he felt a tremendous compassion and kindness, and he fell at the feet of Nityananda. Nityananda embraced them. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that Nityananda is bleeding. He rushed in front to the Jagai and Madai, and then Jagai fell at the feet of Gauranga. And seeing this, Madai was dumbfounded. He also surrendered himself and started saying the name of Krishna. From that time, the change came in this ruffians. You see how this change has come even in... That's why no one is... There is goodness in everyone. You cannot just by seeing outside work or someone cannot say that man is very bad. No man is bad. Goodness is the intrinsic nature of every soul. Each soul is potentially divine. That's Swami Vivekananda divine. The person, the real person is good. Every person is good. So this is the transformation is sure. Once Gauranga was going through somewhere, taking the name of Krishna, Nitai and Gaur, and then they found there were washermen washing clothes, very lowly in that society that time, so low caste. They wanted to embrace them also. They said, please say the name of Krishna. Washerman said, I have a lot of work to do, don't preach religion to me. He said, just say the name of Krishna. So Gauranga touched and he told one Krishna. Once he spoke Krishna, he became inebriated with the love for Krishna. He started saying Krishna, 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 Krishna. He started dancing. Now his wife came to give him food, thinking that clothes will have been washed. Now wife says his husband has become like crazy, dancing in the name of Krishna. Gauranga and Nityananda were sitting a little afar. And he said, my husband had gone mad. So she called all people from the village, do something. Lot of clothes to be washed, remaining head dancing, saying the name of Krishna. So she came and she said, what are you doing? They all villagers came, what are you doing? What happened to you? As soon as she touched her husband, she started saying like, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna ke dance. She started dancing. Whole village became transformed and had the taste of the love for name of God, name of Krishna, and they danced for hours together, and Nityananda and Chaitanya were so happy to see this. They could transform people by just saying one name or just by touch. That power of avatara was being manifested through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time. He had not yet become Chaitanya there. Then what happened after this all went for 2 years. Name of Krishna, Kirtan, revolutionizing the people, making them bhaktas and all that. Then Chaitanya thought, this only motivating and mobilizing this village or town is not the goal. I have come to set a devotion to all mankind. Big plan when God comes. It's not for a limited people. He said, to preach then people don't listen if you are not a sannyasi. You have to give up everything for the sake of God. So he said, Mother, I want to become a monk. Mother said, what? I lost 8 daughters. My only son, one elder brother, he became a monk. Now you want to become a monk? No, that can't be. Repeat the name of God, and you are here, you are happy, you are having everything here. Why you have to become a monk? Now it has come to him. He wanted to renounce everything, his young wife, mother, everything. He persuaded finally to mother that to become a monk. Mother, I will be with you. Whenever you call me, I will come. Whenever you are in trouble, like that, Shankaracharya had said to his mother, he said that. Mother finally relented. And after having got the permission to become sannyasi, he went to another village called Katua in West Bengal itself. And there was another great person was there, Kesava Bharati. This Puri and Bharati are monastic names. They are the monks. So Bharati is one of the Dasanami. There are 10 names for the monks. 10 sects of the monks of Shankaracharya. So Kesava Bharati, then he initiated into sannyasa. Young man of 24. Wonderful looking. This is they describe in the Vaishnava literature. When he went to shave his head, the barber didn't agree. How can I just shave your head, make you 7-headed? You renounce it? Very difficult. It's so beautiful, so handsome you are. So what he had to do. And first Keshav Bharati, when he approached Keshav Bharati, I want to become a monk, renounce everything. Keshav Bharati saw, he's a so wonderful looking, handsome, most handsome young man. How can he keep the vows of sannyasa, self-control, etc.? It's difficult for him, he said. This Gauranga said, test me. I can give you exam of how can I have control. And Keshav Bharati, what he did, you have control over your mind? Yes, whatever you say, I'm ready to give a test. Then Keshav Bharati said, stick out your tongue. Gauranga took his tongue, protruded his tongue. Then there was powdered sugar. He put some sugar on the tongue of Gauranga. Then after that, he puffed, the Keshav Bharati puffed the sugar. And all the sugar was just blown away. Not a single saliva could stick the sugar grains. Grain is powder. He had so much control over even the involuntary action of the senses that there was, with the sugar also, there was no saliva secretion. Full control. Keshav Bharati, for this was the great test. He said, you are the most fit for that. He gave sannyasa. And then came back to Navadvip, to mother. Mother was naturally give permission, but she was sad. Son is going so wonderful or famous son going. And what would happen to Vishnu Priya? That is not described as very hard. Then he said, I want to go to Vrindavan, the birthplace of Krishna, the Leela Kshetra of Krishna. Mother said, Vrindavan is too far from this Bengal. I will not get to go there. He was so devoted to Mother Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna praises Gauranga, his devotion to Mother. He said, Gauranga didn't take sannyasa until Mother permitted. And when Mother told her, no, I will not let you to go to Vrindavan. He had become monk, he could go anywhere. So then Mother said, don't go to... But Mother, sannyasi living in his own village is also not good. Yes, I understand that. Then you go to Puri. Puri is not very far away. Many people go for pilgrimage there. I will get your news, how you are. That will be sufficient for me. And you can come me whenever I am in illness or something. So he agreed and went to Puri. When Gauranga went to Puri, just after sannyasa, 24-25 years of age, he was so inflamed with love for Krishna that when he went near the temple, tired walking, but all time is gone. He just ran when he saw the temple, went directly inside into the temple, and there are big statues of Jagannath, Krishna, Subhadra and Balarama. 3 big wooden statues. And he went and tried to embrace the image, statue of Krishna, the Jagannath. It is holy, unknown person coming. The caretakers all become very angry and he was just almost dying and they started beating him. What is this? You are breaking all the rules of the temple. And they were beating him mercilessly. That time there was one very scholar came who was known to king, very honored there, Vasudeva Sarvabhauma. So he said, don't beat him. He took him in protection. And that half-beaten, fully emotional, in samadhi, that Gauranga was carried, that now he is, after Gauranga, when he got sannyasa, Sadguru gave him name Sri Krishna Chaitanya. That was the monastic name given. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, then for short he became Sri Chaitanya, and sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great master Chaitanya, like that. So Chaitanya is more famous name. So Sarvabhauma was a teacher, he was a follower of Advaita. Now Chaitanya was the follower of Bhakti, little difference. So there was a lot of debate. Sarvabhauma wanted to make him Advaitist. Now Gauranga wants to even transform his teacher, his great scholar. Now there was a verse that Sarvabhauma explained to him. The verse is Atma Ramasya Munayo Nigranthapi Guru Krame Kurvanti Ahetukim Bhaktim Itham Bhuta Guno Hari. The quality of Hari, the power of Hari is so great that even to the Munis who are in self-bliss, they also get that Bhakti by the grace of Guru, by the grace of Hari. So even the Nirgrantha Bhakti Munaya, Nirgrantha means who have gone beyond the scriptures. Even the scriptures are not binding to them. Highly spiritualized person. They also, by the grace of Hari, they also attain Bhakti. So like that something was there. So Sarvabhauma tried to explain the meaning of this. And he explained it in 9 different ways. Then asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, do you understand now the meaning of this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I understand the verses, but I can't understand your explanation. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, can I explain to you? And he started explaining that to Sarvabhauma. And he explained in 69 different ways to Sarvabhauma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was such a great scholar. Sarvabhauma found he is greater than him, and then gradually he became his own disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. King heard the name. Oh, one day it was there was chariot festival. Chariot was not moving. So the king comes, there is a tradition that the king comes, and then with a golden broom, he sweep the road, and that big, huge chariot every year made anew from the wood, and this wheels are huge. And it has to move, pulled by the rope by hundreds of devotees. It has to move that. It was not moving. It was a very big omen, very bad omen for the whole kingdom, for whole humanity. What to do? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he pushed and he started moving. His power was being shown. Now king got impressed and king also started becoming like his devotee. Like that his influence started going there. And he's repeating the name of God all there. And then he went for a pilgrimage to southern India. They are debating with the people, preaching the name of Krishna, making them devotees of Krishna. There was Ramanandara, many persons he devoted. He went all over India. Kanchipuram, Madurai, Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari, everywhere, Tirupati, everywhere he went. And he had the debate with the people. He said the glory of the bhakti, and then the glory in the name of God, and bhakti movement was more flourished of this bhakti. There was already seeds of bhakti were there. Ramanuja was born in the south, Vallabhacharya was already born in the south, but still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this happened. He went to Vrindavan, and in Vrindavan he found that Sri Krishna's place he could locate there in his meditation. All had become like grove, wild place. So where was Sri Krishna really did Ras Lila? Where was that place of his Lila was not known. All Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, credit goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for modern Vrindavan as the place of Sri Krishna's Lila. He found that in his meditation. And he said to his disciples, Rup Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and Vishwarup Goswami to go and Swarup Goswami to go and make that a place of pilgrimage where it found. So he did a great work of giving this spirituality to the whole masses and showing them the real path of devotion to God, irrespective of caste distinction, what Sri Ramakrishna had to do after about 500 years. There is no caste of devotees. Bhaktir Jat nahi. They all belong to one class. That must be very difficult for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, that time. You see, during Sri Ramakrishna's time, it was already much advanced. There were, Western culture had already come, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, he was the first one. Great work he did in the social, meeting all people of all castes together, uniting the people in the name of God. That was social thing. And spiritual thing, he said about the real spirituality, love of God, other external things are not important. He laid most importance for spiritual practice in the repeating of name. Krishna, Krishna, name, repeat, and have the name, love for name, that is the greatest spiritual practice. Hare Namaiva, Hare Namaiva, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nastyatri, Nastyatri, Nastyatra Gatiranyatha. In Kali Yuga, in this age, what is the spiritual practice? Only one, name of God. Repeat the name of God. When his written words are not many, though he founded a philosophy called Achintya Bheda Veda. That our philosophy found. His written works are 8 verses, beautiful 8 verses called Shikshastakam, 8 verses of teachings that he said. And in that also this is all about love of God. And he said, O Lord, you had given so much power in your name. Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. You have put all your power in the name. In which name? Not he doesn't say only Krishna name. Namna Makari Bahuda. In all different varieties of name you have given, and in each name you have put your whole power. Tvai Purna Sarva Shakti. Tatrarpita Smarane Nakala. There is no time for repeating or no place for repeating. You can repeat name of God anywhere, at any time. All time is good time to repeat the name of God. Any place, whatever you are doing, doesn't matter. You can repeat the name of God. Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi. Oh Lord, you have been so kind, so graceful. No rules, no limitations to repeat the name of God. Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi. Durdaiva miha nani januraga. This is my bad luck that the love for God has not yet come to me, has not yet dawned to me. When will that day come, he said? When will that day come, O Lord, that yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha prabhishaitam. When will be that time coming? When the moment will feel like yuga, epoch. When the ears, when the eyes will shed tears like a rainy season, water flowing from the sky in rainy season. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha prabhrishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam. When the whole world with varieties and human beings and all this will feel like a zero, like shunya. Shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. When will I have that type of longing to you, O Govinda? When the world will seem void. When my tears will flow in torrents like rain water from the sky. When will be the time when I miss you will seem like an epoch, even the moment will be like epoch. When will that time come? And he gave one beautiful teaching. He said, how should we live in the world? Laid more emphasis on humility, no arrogance. All credit, everything to God. He is the doer. He said, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi shaisuna. If you want to live in the world with spiritual strength, so make yourself humble. Very humble. How much humble? Like a blade of a grass. Even humbler than that. Trinadapi sunichena. Think yourself to be very low. But you have to be very firm. Tarorapi shaishnuna. But be firm in your ideal. Amanina. Don't seek any honor for yourself. That people will praise me. Don't have any such idea. Amanina manadena. And yet, give honor to everyone. Respect everyone. Be humble, be firm. Don't seek any honor for yourself, give honor to everyone. And finally, how these things can be attained? Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Always repeat the name of God. Just by repeating the name of God, you will attain all these wonderful spiritual qualities. Sri Ramakrishna, in the Gospel if you read, there are so many references to Sri Ramakrishna. To Sri Chaitanya. Every other page you feel Sri Chaitanya did this, Sri Chaitanya that one story he gives that how Sri Chaitanya's mind was tuned to Sri Krishna. One day he was going through some village and they said the name of the village and he went into Samadhi. Name of the village was not related to God. He said, why he went to Samadhi? Oh, from the wood that grows in that village is made the spade for cleaning the grass of the temple of Govinda, Krishna temple. Village, then wood, then spade, then the Govinda, then Krishna. Like this small thing would just take him to the mind was always flowing towards God. That type of his inclination, that type of thing is needed for us also. These are the great teachings. Connecting everything to our Ishta. Everything needs to be connected to our Ishta. And Sri Ramakrishna says that thing that you have to do that way. Our Yam was a very sharp, intelligent person. He always thought, it is Shukadeva explaining the Bhagavata, it is Sri Chaitanya himself coming. And many times he compared with Sri Chaitanya, Sri Ramakrishna. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya's seat was kept in one place. He went there and Sri Ramakrishna had just gone to listen to the talks about devotion. He goes straight and sits on the seat left for Sri Chaitanya. They have one place, sometimes they keep the seat in honor. People are all angry, why you are sitting there sacrilegious? They couldn't understand that Sri Chaitanya and Sri Ramakrishna was one. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life also, there was Krishna's seat, and he goes there. Somebody offered food to Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes and he starts sitting in his boyhood. Those were the stories, how they were together. So, at last, when he was 48 years of age, Gauranga, that time he passed away. Sri Ramakrishna lived for 50 years, Gauranga lived for 48 years. Very short life, so tremendous work done. I read from an article by Swami Shivananda Saraswati of Rishikesh, Divine Life. When Gauranga was in a fit of devotional ecstasy, he jumped into the blue sea at Puri. He imagined that the blue sea was the Yamuna. He wanted to join in the frolics of the gopis of Vrindavan. As his body was in an emaciated condition, owing to constant fasts and vigils, it floated on the water and fell into the net of a fisherman. It was not. The fisherman was extremely glad as he felt that the net was very heavy. He thought that he had caught a big, brooding Ganim fish. He dragged the net to the shore with difficulty. He found in the net a human corpse instead of a big fish. He was disappointed. The corpse made a faint sound. The fisherman took it for a ghost or hobgoblin. He was greatly frightened. He slowly walked along the shore with trembling feet. Swarupa and Ramananda, who were searching for their master Gauranga from sunset, met the fisherman. Swarupa asked him if he had seen Gauranga Deva anywhere. The fisherman narrated his story. The Swarupa and Ramananda hurried to the place where the net was lying. They removed their master from the net and placed him on the ground. They sang the name of Hari loudly. Gauranga came back to consciousness. Lord Gauranga said, "Listen, Swarupa and Ramananda Raj. The chanting of Krishna's name is the chief means of attaining Krishna's feet in the Kali Yuga. Sankirtan of the name is the supreme healer in the Iron Age. Sankirtan tantamounts to Vedic sacrifice. Sankirtan destroys sins and purifies the heart and creates bhakti. Chant the name while sitting, standing, walking, eating, in bed, and everywhere. The name is omnipotent. You can repeat the name at any place, at any time. Listen, Swarupa and Ramananda, I tell you about the mental attitude with which the name should be recited. Hari's name should always be chanted by him who must be humbler than a blade of grass, who is more patient, forbearing, and charitable than a tree, which does not cry out even when it is cut down, and which does not beg for water even when scorched to death, but on the contrary offers its treasures to whosoever seeks it, bears the sun and rain itself, but protects those who take shelter under it from rain and sunshine. Who, however worthy of esteem, should instead of claiming respect for himself, give respect to all, from a sense of God's immanency in all beings. He who thus takes Krishna's name gets Krishna praying. Lord Gauranga became more humble in spirit and recited the other slokas. So, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, where he really and how really he gave up his body is not known. Some say he jumped into the river, into the ocean, thinking it to be blue, Sri Krishna's dress, or Radha's form. He just embraced and he lost there. Some say there must be some foul play because the priests in the temple were not happy because they were losing their thing, and Sri Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always says about the real devotion. So there are many stories how he might have passed away, but after when he was 48, he just gave up his body and not really known how he gave up his body. But he left behind a great legacy in the name of God to whole humanity, that the whole humanity can be revolutionized in spirituality, by just one spiritual practice, repeat the name of God with pure heart and with growing love for God. This is all about the bhakti. Like the Radha, the example is like the Radha had for Sri Krishna. That is the bhakti. When Bhairavi Brahmani came and Sri Ramakrishna complained of body burning, she said, this is because of the highest love of Mahabhava, Prema. And this experience had been experienced by only two persons in history. One was Radha, the great devotee of Sri Krishna. Another was Gauranga. And you are the third one in the history of human beings that has experienced this great, supreme, sacrificing love for Krishna. It is no ailment, my dear child. It is the sign of supreme, ecstatic love for Krishna, love for God, called Mahabhava. It's no ailment. So, he falls, Sri Ramakrishna, Chaitanya and Radha, their love for God falls in the same category. Thank you.